back again. So today I'm going to be starting on a new series that I'm going to have on my channel, and it's going to be called 5 Things. So today's video is going to be 5 things that I wish I knew in high school. So I'm 20 years old. I obviously graduated a few years ago, and there's a lot of stuff now looking back that I really wish that I would have known. It would have made it easier on myself and easier on the people around me, as well as just, you know, I feel like it would have really improved my life. So, you know, I see a lot of people do videos like, oh, what I would tell my younger self or what I would say to myself in high school. And so this is going to be kind of my version of that. I am going to be starting a series though, so make sure every Friday I'll be posting another 5 things, so make sure you keep a lookout for that. Alright, so let's get started with today's video. So the first thing that I wish I knew in high school is that it's okay to not know what you're going to do. When I was in high school, I absolutely thought that I was going to go into neuroscience or psychology. I thought I was going to be in school for like 12 years, and I really 100% thought I knew what I wanted to do. And now that I've grown up, you know, my life has taken a very different path, and I'm absolutely okay with that. I love it. I'm very happy with where my life has gone. But, you know, a lot of the kids that I know are in high school or just starting high school, and a lot of them, you know, talk about how they're really nervous about, you know, what am I going to do after high school? I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I don't know what I want to go to school for. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know who I am. And, you know, I think the thing that's really, really hard, particularly about high school, is just that you have all this pressure to figure out what you want to do, have a plan, go to college. Are you going into the workforce? Are you going to trade school? You know, to, like, tell us what you're going to do. Tell us what you're going to do. And I get, you know, but the thought behind that is really nice. You know, schools don't want you to graduate high school and suddenly just have nothing to do and nowhere to go. But at the same time, it really does put a lot of pressure on kids who are already, you know, having a really hard time, because there's a lot of stress when you're a teenager. So the number one thing that I wish I knew in high school is that it's okay to not know what you want to do. It's okay to take a year off from school. It's okay to start college and do your generals and not be sure what you want to do. It's okay to take time to learn what you like, what you care about, what you want to do, what you feel called to do. And you don't have to know. You don't have to know when you're 14, 15, 16, you don't have to know what you want to do. Half of my friends have gone to college for 2 years because they thought they knew what they wanted to do, and now 2 years down the road, they're completely starting over because they've realized that they're not the person they thought they were in high school. So if you're worried about what you're going to do, if you're thinking about what you want to do, I really just want to encourage you to, you know, talk to people that are older than you. Talk to your friends, talk to your siblings, your mom, your dad. Talk to coworkers or managers or anything like that. Just talk to them and tell them, you know, what you're thinking, what you want to do, and get some advice, get some counsel. Talk to people at your church, talk to people at your school. You know, everybody is there to really help you out, and it's okay to not know. It's okay to take your time. You don't have to go to college the second you step out of the door of high school, you know. Just make sure that whatever you're doing it because you want to. A lot of people feel pressured to do stuff that they don't really want to do, you know, because they want to make money or because they have to go to college or because this, that, and the other thing. And I just think that it's really important to know that you are still young. You still have so much time to figure out what you want to do, and it is okay to take your time and take it at your own pace. All right, so the second thing that I wish I knew in high school is that high school does not matter. Now, I'm not saying, you know, you shouldn't go to class or you shouldn't get good grades, because that stuff is important. You know, learning is very important. This experience and get this education. However, a lot of students really struggle with a lot of anxiety and a lot of pressure. And, you know, when you're a teenager, it is really hard. You know, a lot of the time you're in school and you're trying to get good grades and you're trying to have friends and you're trying to make your family happy and spend time with your family and your friends and school and do homework. And then a lot of the time you get a job, and then you get all this other responsibility that you have on top of that. So don't get me wrong, being a student is very hard and very stressful. And it is very important to do well in school. That's not what I'm saying at all. But all the stuff, people always said this to me too, and I always thought it was so dumb, but all the stuff that you think matters so much in high school really doesn't. It's not that you're getting an A in this class. It's not that you're getting a 100 on that test. It's really more, you know, that you're learning. Because if you get that really good foundation while you're still in high school and you learn all of these things and you get that passion for learning, you get this base education, you know, it really opens the doors for you when you go into college. You know, you're more likely to know what you want to do or what kind of classes you like or what things you're interested in. So it's a lot easier to figure out where you want to go with your life. You know, don't focus too much on, you know, getting an A. That shouldn't be your number one goal. Your goal should be to learn the topic or to learn something new. If you're writing a paper, your goal shouldn't be just to get it done and turn it in. It should really be, you know, to learn something, to take something away from it. And kids will think that, like, you know, your friendships or your relationships is more important in high school than, but I would really say focus on your friends. Boyfriends don't matter, girlfriends don't matter. All relationships serve a purpose, but you know, it's really just not worth your time. You don't know who you are. They don't know who they are. None of you know what you're going to be doing in 10 years. There's no point in investing all of this time and emotional energy into something that's probably not going to last very long. And even if it does last, you are going to be completely different people by the time that you are seriously dating and getting engaged, getting married, anything like that. You know, you're going to be very different people. You know, a lot of the time people get really stressed out about their friends or like all this drama in their friend group and stuff like that. And honestly, one of the biggest things I think I've learned is that if you have good friends, they'll be there for you. It's not going to be hard to be friends with people. You know, relationships are a two-way street. Of course, you have to put in some effort. You know, you have to be willing to be there for another person. But at the same time, it shouldn't be hard. You shouldn't have to constantly be trying and trying and trying to get this person to be friends with you, trying to get this person to talk with you, trying to get this person to like you. You know, really, if someone is worth your time and worth your energy, they will show it by also being there for you. So, you know, in high school, don't focus on getting A's. Don't focus on having a relationship or, you know, being the best person in your friend group. You know, the most important thing you can do is focus on learning. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you're doing a stupid paper on, you know, animals and you learn that butterflies have scales on their wings or something dumb like that. Just make sure you're taking away something from school every single day and try not to get distracted and really focus on becoming who you want to be as a person. When you're in high school, a really transformative time. You know, you're going from being a kid to being an adult. When you're in high school, you're going from being 13, 14, you know, to being 18. So you're really coming into your own and discovering who you are, what your values are, who you want to be with, who you want to surround yourself with. So really, rather than taking the time to try to be who other people want you to be or to try to be who you think you should be, really just take a lot of time to reflect on yourself. And, you know, if you're religious, you know, reflect on your values, reflect on where you think God is leading you or where you want to go in your life, and make sure, you know, I think one of the most important things you can do is to be open with your parents, to be open with, you know, your siblings, people that are close to you that are a little older, that do have more experience, because even if you think that they don't know what they're talking about, they do know what they're talking about, and counsel is always so, so important. So that's one of the other things I really wish I knew, is that, you know, nothing in high school matters, and the only important thing is learning who you are and learning things about the world. The third thing that I really wish I knew in high school is that you don't have to be the best at everything. So like I said before, you know, a lot of kids in high school have a lot of responsibilities. You know, it's ridiculous. Teenagers don't get enough credit for this. You know, you're in school, you know, 70 hours a week. You usually have a job where you're working 20 to 30 hours a week. You usually have commitments. You're in sports, you're in church, you're doing volunteer work, you have responsibilities at home. You just have all of this stuff going on. You have all of this stuff just going on. And it, you know, it's crazy. It's really a lot of stuff. And like, people wonder why teenagers are so stressed out. And like, it's because they're balancing a lot more than, you know, us adults really have to balance. And, you know, of course it's difficult. I'm not saying that, you know, adulthood's super easy and being a teenager is the hardest thing ever, because, you know, that's not true. They do have their own struggles. However, it's a very different thing to be a teenager when you have all of this inner turmoil in addition to all of these responsibilities. One of the things I really wish I knew is that it's not important to be the best in everything. You don't have to be the best athlete, the best daughter, the best volunteer worker, the best student. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be as good as you can be. You know, I'm not saying it's not important to have goals, and I'm not saying it's not important to try your hardest, but it's not necessarily the end-all be-all of who you are to be the best. So don't base your worth on getting an A. Don't base your worth on whether you fight with your parents or whether you're super close with your mom or whether or not you like your siblings or things like this. Like, don't base your worth on being the best. Like, just because you don't go to church 7 days a week and to like sing in the worship band and lead a small group and volunteer with the kids, and just because you aren't like meeting Olympic times on your track team and, you know, going to state every year, and just because you're not getting A's on every single assignment, you don't have a 4.0 and a 38 ACT score or whatever, that doesn't mean that you're a worthless person. You still have so much going for you. And I think really, again, this goes back to what I've been saying all the way through, is that you really, really need to be concerned about is who you are and how you think of yourself. It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what your grades say, what your sports say, what anything says. What matters is what you say to yourself. So if you say, oh my God, I'm a terrible person, I can't believe that I just got a C on this assignment, my life is over, you're gonna start believing that. And later on in life, it's just gonna be harder and harder for you to, you know, get by. And so the important thing is to say, maybe I didn't do my best on here. Is there something I can do better? Can I, you know, maybe study a different way? Can I get help a different way? Can I do something differently to facilitate getting a better grade or getting a... And if there's nothing you can do, then just keep enjoying your life, you know? Like, enjoy learning things for school, enjoy running track, enjoy going to church. You don't have to be the best. There's no pressure. The only person who's putting that kind of pressure on you is yourself. You just need to be the best that you can be for yourself. Nothing else matters. What number am I on? No, I think 4? 4? What number am I on? I don't know. 4. I'm gonna go with 4. We're going with 4. Okay, so the fourth thing I wish I knew in high school is that the people you meet in high school will not be with you forever. And I know a lot of people, you know, really want to like stay with their friends forever, really want to, you know these people for the rest of their life. And some people do, especially, you know, like in small towns, a lot of people really think like, yeah, these are going to be my friends for the rest of my life. And, you know, some people do make close and meaningful connections in high school, but you know, a lot of the people you meet and a lot of the people that influence you are in your life at that time to help you grow as a person. As I've said before, you know, there's a lot going on for you personally in high school with your development and becoming who you are as a person. And so a lot of the people you meet, whether it's your best friend or your first boyfriend or the girl you have a crush on, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be with you forever. You know, maybe they're there to teach you that you can't be a doormat all the time. You know, you can't let people just tell you what to do, because maybe you'll get into some situation where you really regret just letting someone push you around. Maybe you'll get into a situation where you realize this is not who I want to be. Or, you know, maybe it'll teach you, you know, that some people are just very, very dramatic for the sake of being dramatic, and you might learn, like I did, I had a few friends that I learned, you know, there's always a crisis. There was always something going on with them, always some disaster, and I always had to be the one to come in and save the day. They didn't care if I was sad, they didn't care if I was upset, they didn't care if I was having a hard time, they didn't care what was going on with me, because they always needed to be saved. So, you know, you might learn through that, you know, there are people who will take advantage of you like that. Especially, I'm a very, very caring person, almost to a fault. You know, I really do genuinely care about pretty much everyone I meet, and a lot of the time people will take advantage of that. And you know, maybe you'll have friends that you really do think are your best friends and are going to be with you forever, but you might find out that they're taking advantage of you, you know, emotionally and just using you to make themselves feel better without really supporting your needs. Even if you are really close with someone, you just outgrow them as a person. Like maybe you just grow in different directions. Maybe, you know, they decide to go down a path of travel and things like that, and you decide, you know, that you want to stay at home and be a mom. You know, you're really compatible with someone, and as much as you might still like them, there might not be any bad blood. There might not be anything bad that happened at all, but you know what? Sometimes you just grow apart, and that's okay. You have no obligation to stay friends with someone from high school just because, like, oh, we went to high school together. You have no obligation to keep people in your life if they are no longer serving your happiness. And I think that's one of the most important things that I learned. Okay, and the absolute last thing, number five, the most important thing, you are gonna hate me for saying this. All of you little rebels are gonna hate me for saying this, but your parents know best. Okay, I was a huge rebel. I thought my mom didn't know what she was talking about. I fought her tooth and nail all of the time. And now I look back and I see she was always looking out for my best interest. She always knew before something happened that it was gonna happen. And I know, you know, it's a really hard time being a teenager because you're coming into your own, you're becoming your own person, you know, you're really just growing into yourself, and you don't want your parents to keep, you know, parenting you and treating you like a kid, because you know what, you're an adult now, you know, like you're a teenager, you're in high school, you're doing your own thing, you have a job, whatever. But really, truly, one of the things I really wish that I had understood in high school is that your parents care about you so much. And I know, I don't take this wrong the way. I know a lot of people have, you know, abusive parents or issues with their parents or other things like that. And I'm not saying that every single person has to love their parents or there's something wrong with them. I'm just saying that in most cases, your parents really love you and they've already been around the block and they already know, you know, what's going on. And they're looking out for your best interests. And I just really wish that I would have known that. I really wish that I would have taken, you know, my mom's advice more seriously, personally. I look back now, and a lot of the stuff that she told me that I hated at the time, I have used time and time again in my adult life. And I really wish that I would have looked back and just listened to what she said. It would have saved me so much pain and heartache and just time and emotional energy. And I really wish that I would have known that at the time, that I would have known that my mom really truly was looking out for my best interests. And I know that that's not something anyone wants to hear, is listen to your parents, but listen to your freaking parents. Like, okay, they love you, okay, just listen. It'll help you a lot in the long run. Like, and I know that's not everyone's situation, and I'm not saying that you have to, you know, have a great, you know, parental situation. I'm just saying that, especially if you're in a situation where your parents are there and looking out for you and loving you and whatever, please just listen to them. Please just listen to them. It'll make your life so much easier. So much easier. Please, please. So to sum up, I just want to say, you know, the most important thing, I've said this kind of throughout all of my different points here. The most important thing about high school is growing as a person and growing as yourself and discovering who you are and living that truth in your life. And, you know, really, if you're doubting, if you're sad, if you're scared, if you're anxious, if you don't know where you're going in life, don't be afraid to share that with somebody. Share it with your friends, your sister, your mom, your dad, your pastor, your small group leader, I don't know, your teacher, your school counselor. Share it with somebody, and I guarantee you that somebody will help you. Somebody will help you talk it out. Somebody will give you advice. Somebody in your life has been there. Somebody has felt the same way that you felt. Somebody has experienced the same exact thing and they got through it. I've struggled a lot with depression and anxiety in my life, and I do know a lot of young people now that are struggling with the same sort of thing. And obviously I had a really hard time with it, and now I just want to help. I just want to help people that I know and help them learn strategies to get through it, learn coping mechanisms, learn how to talk to themselves, and tell themselves that they are worth it, because that is the most important thing. thing. You might not hear it from people all the time. You can't live your life trying to hear that you're a good person, trying to hear that you're great, you're worth it, you're worth loving. You have to tell yourself that, or you're never gonna believe it. You know, you can't, like, and especially going back to people who, you know, maybe don't have the best family life. You know, if maybe your parents didn't tell you that they loved you, maybe they don't support you, maybe they kicked you out when you were 16, I don't know. But you can't wait around for them to tell you that they love you. You can't wait around for a boy or a girl or some friends or a boss or a teacher to tell you that you're worth it. That doesn't define who you are. What defines who you are is what you decide. So if you decide every day, if you wake up and you say, I'm gonna love myself today, and I am gonna prove to myself that I'm worth it. I'm worth it because I said I am. If you can do that, it will help you get through so much heartache and so much pain and so much uncertainty that comes with being a teenager. All right, so that's about it for this video. This is the first of my 5 things series. So I hope you liked it. You know, if you did, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to see the rest of my 5 things series. They'll be coming out, I think every Friday is what I'm gonna be doing. I upload Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I don't upload every day, so make sure you ring the notification bell so that you know when my new videos are up, because I know you want to see them. So also, you know, if you liked this video, if it helped you, if it spoke to you, if it showed you a new way to look at life, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, you know, you can drop a comment telling me what you thought. Maybe you thought that was the worst advice ever. Maybe you thought that that was gonna change your life and change how you look at everything. Go ahead and tell me down in the comment section below. I think you guys are all absolutely wonderful people. I hope you get through all of your turmoil and stress and anxiety and all of this, and I hope that you live every single day going forward as your truest self. I hope you live everything with love, light, and happiness, and I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you on Monday with my next video. Have a nice night, you guys. That one emo chick is out.